Is mewing just a myth? That is a question for today. We're gonna be talking about how to get a good jawline and alternatives to mewing. So just some history on the term. It is not an official medical term by any means. There was a doctor back in the 70s, Dr. John Mew, who kind of coined this term. Basically, his research was all about, because of our culture and conditions we live in today, we aren't really eating any harder food. We're eating a lot more softer, processed, and less tough food, resulting in a smaller jaw, which is why most people don't have this sharp jawline, or so his research states. So his solution to this problem is what he calls mewing, which is basically closing your mouth, keeping your lips together, and placing your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and then keeping your teeth either together or relatively close together. So it's pretty simple. So does this actually work though, is the question. I hate to break it to most of you, there has been no evidence of this actually working, but I will say that the way you breathe and the way you naturally just hold your mouth does kind of play into this. I've never really been a mouth breather. I've always been a nose breather with my mouth closed. Mouth breathing does lead to a poor jawline. That has been proven. But like from this point going forward, will it really adjust to your face shape? No, that's not really possible unless you do some sort of plastic surgery, which is dangerous. Do not recommend in any way, shape, or form. So first tip I would recommend is breathing strictly from your nose, with a few exceptions. If you're like exerting yourself and working out or running or something, you need deep breaths, sure, a mouth breath here and there is fine, but a general rule of thumb is try to always breathe from your nose when just doing your day-to-day tasks, and when sleeping especially, that's a big thing. So trying to keep your mouth closed as much as possible when breathing is tip number one. The second way to making your jawline more apparent is pretty plain and simple, but people kind of overlook it when they want to build a jawline, is simply just exercise. Now, is there really a specific exercise to target the fat and the position of your neck and jaw area? No, not necessarily. But getting to a healthy body fat percentage and being physically fit will definitely play a big role. I think this is what's played the biggest role for me. I'll put up a picture right now of me only a few years ago, and you can see it's completely changed. Maybe it's partially due to puberty, but I think it's more just that I've been exercising and building an overall better physique and getting to a better body fat percentage. Now I'm currently in a bulk, and I probably will be for a while. So I'm not as lean, obviously, as I'd ideally like to be, but again, that's a sacrifice you have to make when bulking. So that's tip number two. Tip number three is the way you hold your body. So this is standing up straight with your head straight up, not necessarily down, not in, because if you're standing like this, you instantly just are ruining your chances for having a defined jawline. So basically sitting up straight with your neck straight up and your head not back, not too forward because it looks just weird, but just right in between, keeping it up, not down, because down again just pushes your fat into your neck. But don't look straight up either. So just kind of straight, maybe a little bit up if anything, but good posture is tip number three. And the last thing I have to say is this could just be poor genetics. And there's nothing you can really do about poor genetics. I have poor genetics when it comes to my physique. I seriously have to work out way more than I'd like to admit to get even to where I am today. And I have a lot farther goals with my physique that I want to reach. But With your jaw, it's the same sort of principle. There's some things you can't necessarily fix, but there's things that these tips that I've given you that will definitely improve what you have. So do not get discouraged if you have poor genetics. Again, there's always things you can do about the poor genetics. It may not be perfect, but it'll definitely get better using the tips I've told you. Oh, and last thing, do not do anything the web. I was just on this website looking up alternatives, and it's literally telling you to get surgery, tooth repair, braces, okay, yeah, that's fine, or tooth removal, or even facial contouring. Don't do any of that BS. Like, it's the lazy man's way to getting out of a problem they've created themselves, and it will not actually fix anything. It's like the whole idea of taking supplements in place of having a healthy diet. So the healthy diet should always come first, and the supplements should only come after you have that healthy diet. So you should already be doing everything in your power, and all these tips I've given you, and that should get you to a place that's should be fine. And this stuff's just gonna mess with your health, and it's not worth it. Not worth it at all. Do not recommend it in the slightest. But that is it for this video. I hope this was helpful. Let me know down below if it was, and if there's anything I missed, anything you've done to build a good jawline, good physique, whatever. And let me know of any other video ideas for next time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.